I'm Jett. I'm a lawyer in Decatur, Alabama. Our lesson objective is to determine property value using 4 separate methods. Ever wonder how much a piece of property is worth? Who owns a piece of property? How can I contact the owner of a piece of property? Are others paying the same property tax on property worth the same? And how can I access this information? This video includes step-by-step instructions. Only limited computer skills are required. More videos are coming, and I encourage you to share this with your friends. Here is the secret. It's really not a secret. All the information is hiding in plain sight, and it's all public record, and you have a right to see this information. The program has some problems. There's no help button, no tutorials, no instructions of any kind. You cannot use Control-Z, Control-Y, Control-F. You cannot use your up, down, left, or right arrow keys. Some examples are wrong and do not work. Some options do not work. It doesn't even have a real name. Interactive GIS Maps is somewhat of a mouthful. Once you learn how to use this program, you'll see it's better than sliced bread to determine property value. Who uses this information? Many people do. City Hall, the courthouse, schools, lawyers, banks, surveyors, developers, appraisers, and realtors. Decatur has a great resource to assist us in determining property value. Now, they didn't write this program, so the mistakes are not their fault. But open another tab on your computer and have this video playing at the same time. Follow along online, and as you need to, you can pause this video on your computer address bar. Type in www.decaturalabama.usa.com/gis.html and then press enter. When you press enter, this is the page that will appear. Click where it says Interactive GIS Maps. The disclaimer appears. Read the disclaimer. If you accept the terms of this agreement, click the button. When you click the disclaimer, it carries you to this page. This page has 3 separate portions: the widget area, the map scale tool, and the map tools. The top part of the widget has 3 tabs: property search, property details, and maps. You always have to be in property search to have a search. The middle part is welcome. At the bottom, you see search by owner name, search by address, and search by parcel ID. Welcome, search by owner name, search by address, and search by parcel ID all have drop-down menus to the right of the names, and you can click those to open the information or click it again to close it. I have closed the information on welcome. Click search by owner name. Look at the example. It says last name space first name. If you type in your last name and click search, everyone that owns property in Morgan County with your last name should show up as a result. If you want to narrow the result, you need to type in your last name and your first name. The problem is, if you type in last name space first name, and if you own property in Morgan County, when you click search, this is what will appear. The tricky part is the comma. The comma is left out of the example. If you type your last name, comma, your first name, and assuming you own property in Morgan County, then the correct result will appear. Once you find the name you're looking for, it will look like this: Doe, John. It'll be underlined in blue with the address of the property. If you click Doe, John, 2 things automatically happen. The map zooms to the selected property, and the widget changes from property search to property details. See, click here in the widget. Click here is the tricky part. Click here in the assessment details, and it opens a new tab. What do you do if you still can't find the information you're looking for? You may have the wrong spelling or the wrong name. You may have to go back to the last name results and go one by one checking each of the results. You may be searching for a business. Now, this is a little tricky part also. You cannot search for a business using search by name you will have to use one of the other search methods. When you open the new tab for the assessment details and it gives you the information for the property appraisal link, this is what the information looks like. I have it broken into a top half and a bottom half just because it is easier for you to look at. The first thing you look at is the parcel ID. Think of this as a social security number for each tract of property. The second thing is the name and address of the property owner. This is one of the things that we initially identified that we wanted to be able to look up. The next thing is the previous owner. Knowing who the previous property owner was and knowing the date the deed was prepared may assist you in your search. The last area on the top part of the property appraisal link is the legal description. This is a very abbreviated legal description. So your legal description may have 15 lines and this legal description may only have 2 or 3. On the bottom half, we see the property address, the subdivision, the land and building value. This total parcel value is another one of the things we were looking for. And last, you see the detail information. On your home, you may only see an entry for land and building. Search by address. Go to the widget, find search by address, click search by address. The tricky part on this is that less is more. We already know the correct address for Walmart, but type 2800 Spring and click search. You'll have 2 results pop up. The top result is for Walmart. Click on 2800 Spring Avenue Southwest in the top result. Click here in the widget. Assessment details opens in a new tab. Search by address shows result matches for property address or for tax notice address. Search by parcel ID. You have to have the parcel ID before you can use this method. Check your tax notices. The tricky part is you cannot use any hyphens, you cannot leave spaces, and you have to include all the periods. Type in the parcel ID, click search. The widget automatically changes to property details and the map automatically zooms to property. This will provide you with owner name, address, parcel ID. Look in the widget, click here in the widget. Assessment details opens in a new tab. Search using identify. Look at your map tools. Zoom in looks like a magnifying glass with a plus sign in it. Zoom out looks like a magnifying glass with a minus inside of it. Pan looks like 4 arrows all going off in diagonal lines. Identify looks like a circle with an eye in it. Zoom to full extent looks like a target. Clear map looks like an X. Measure tool looks like a ruler. And printer looks like a printer. Zoom in. Left click on the zoom in icon. Move the cursor to where you want to zoom into on the map. Think of the general area you want to zoom in as a box. Left click on one of the corners where you want to zoom in. The tricky part with zoom in is you have to continue to hold your left mouse button down until you finish drawing your box. Zoom out works like the zoom in icon. If you zoom in too far, click zoom out and then redraw the box with your mouse. Pan moves you around the map. Pan looks like 4 diagonal arrows. When you click on the map, the icon will change and the arrows now go up and down and left and right. I know it doesn't make any sense, but that's what it does. Pan is similar to the grab tool in other programs. Up, down, left, right keys do not move your screen, so pan is very important. Identify. If you see a parcel of property, you can click identify. Move the cursor to above the parcel. Click on the parcel. Identify is one of my favorite map tools. Zoom to full extent. Left click on zoom to full extent icon. The map automatically resets to original view. Clear map clears the map but does not go back to the original map view. If you want to do that, you have to click zoom to full extent. Measure tool is very helpful to determine area or distance. The printer tool is pretty much worthless. It allows you to name the map that you create, but then it will say that Google base maps cannot be printed at this time. There must be plans for it in the future, but I have you a workaround for it. Orient yourself to the map. It's somewhat difficult to tell where roads and cities are on the map. I-65 divides Morgan County roughly in half. This is where Highway 67 or Beltline is. US 31 begins at the county line, goes through Hartselle, and crosses the river bridge in Decatur. You also need to know where the cities are located. Trinity is in this general area. Decatur is in this general area. Priceville is here, and Hartselle is here. Here is your map scale tool. Think of it as another way to zoom. You can click at the top and it will zoom the entire map in one level. Zoom at the bottom and it will zoom the entire map out one level. Practical exercise. Go to the widget, click search by name. Type Walmart, press search. No result? Remember, you can't search for a business. Assuming you do not know the address or the parcel ID, click the map scale tool up one level. Use zoom in to draw a box in southwest Decatur. Get as close to Beltline and Spring Avenue as possible. If you need to, use pan to move your view closer. If you get lost, use zoom to full extent to restart. Once you see Walmart, click the identify icon and then click on Walmart. You now have the owner name, address, and parcel ID. Click here in the widget. Assessment Details opens in a new tab. Success. How to measure property. Walmart is tough to measure because of all the turns. Click zoom in. You want to try to keep all the property that you're looking at on the screen, but you want it at the maximum zoom possible. Click measure. Click area and select acres. Pick any corner to start. Work clockwise or counterclockwise. Click on every corner and along every curve. Do not skip any corners. On curve boundaries, you have to click, go a short distance, and click again. You cannot curve with the measuring tool, so you have to make it into a series of short, straight lines. Continue until you get to the next corner. Measurement only gives you a rough estimate, but it can be helpful. When you get to your last point, double click on the last point. When you're using measuring, this is what it would look like as you begin to put your points in. This is starting with Walmart from the upper northwest corner as the first point. You can see by the time you get to the fifth point, it looks relatively strange and you may think this is a mess, this is not working right. But if you continue to follow all the way around, this is what your screen will look like. My measurements varied. You may get something that's roughly close to that. I did it several times. I never come out with the exact answer. It's always a little different. I had 33 or so points. You may have a few more. I doubt you have many less. Most properties that you measure are a lot easier than this. If you can measure this, you can pretty much measure anything. How do I save the results? Windows has an awesome snipping tool. Basically, if you see something on a computer screen, you can copy it. Click the Windows Start button, type Snipping Tool in the search bar, click Search, click Snipping Tool, click the drop-down toolbar next to the word New in the Snipping toolbar. You can snip 4 different types of snips: freeform, rectangular, window, and full screen. Think of using snip as using the zoom in tool. Once you identify what you're going to snip, a pop-up appears. The pop-up has the word File in the upper left-hand corner. Click File on the snipping tool screen to save the file to your computer. It automatically names it as Capture. You can name it whatever you want to. You need to make sure you watch to see where your computer is actually saving your snips to. I hope this was helpful. Please like this at my YouTube site and on Facebook. I encourage you, share it with your friends. If you have any questions or if I can help you in any way, please contact me. Thank you.